Cool.
Yay!
Yay.
Party. Hello.
I haven't had sugar in minutes. Slander. She's
No
sleeping.
Minky yet, I'm waiting. It's probably coming at the same time as the sugar that I'm still waiting for.
Pigs. A
You have
silent
to yell
pixie.
louder, you're all the way in Australia.
Yeah, and
I
your
can
voice
see
is...
your circle lighting up, but I don't hear you.
Yeah, me neither.
That's not safe for work. It's too
There we
scary.
go. I had my printer plugged in.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh. I'm like, your printer is
Oh.
your mic?
My
So it
printer has
interferes with
decided
your
that it
mic?
doesn't work if I have my if my Wi-Fi is dumb, it only works half the time. So I made a hotspot with my laptop. But if I have the hotspot on, the printer doesn't work, and if I have the printer working, the hotspot stops working.
Oh god.
So it's either Wi-Fi or printer.
And of course, we have our ever grateful leader, Living Dead, over here, being awesome.
Yeah, you're here too. Don't forget yourself.
Needing brains. We all do. Patreon.
Probably.
Totally. Yes. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
So lame. Keep it mostly pony.
One per person per week, right? Not like yeah.
Mm.
Only one. You all fight over the pot.
Run! It's Monday, run!
Who will be the furry this week? Yeah, same thing with humans. Like we can do them. We're not experts on. Not all of us, at least, are experts on humans, but we try.
I'm the opposite of an expert on humans.
How to
I don't know.
human.
I don't know why I'm doing this when I'm not very confident on like furry faces. Ellie's probably had more experience than me.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Alice cat.
She's the cat person. Stare at the face. Hold their face still, staring into its soul as you get referenced.
Kitty.
And then you smooch their nose and everything is great.
Yes.
And you just imbue the information through smooches. That's how it works.
Yes.
But yeah.
I think it's a little bit wider than tall, and that feels a little bit strange. But in general,
keep a lock on that circle you draw for the head shape. It seems to have gone a little too overly, even with the hair.
And you don't always have to have a perfect circle, but just bear in mind that it is like a reference for what you're drawing, and that's really all the circle is a reference. but it does help to make sure that you're utilizing that. Like you could do it oval, and it could just be like the top sort of half of the skull, and you do the draw below that. If that's what you do, then that's fine. But yeah, sometimes things can get away from you, so it's just about building up that eye. Mhm.
My advice would also be to look at, like, I love this muzzle. I think this whole area is a little bit underdeveloped. Mostly, you've got like sort of the bridge of the nose here. You've got this sort of top plane, this sort of thing, and then this eye kind of, it feels a little bit like it's intruding on things that it probably shouldn't be. You've got sort of this area here which goes down, and you've probably got like a little bit of missing space here that the eye is taking up at the moment, which is sort of making it feel strange.
Like, big cats are weird. If you look at a big cat, they're very wedgy head shaped. And I know MLP does really good squishy round heads, especially for their sphinxes and stuff. But to me, I'm looking at your art and I see a little bit more towards the realistic side of what a big cat would look like instead of more towards the very flat MLP style. Um, so I mean, next time, I don't know if you did or didn't, and I'm not sure. I have a feeling there's an under sketch under this. Like this is like you're drawing over your under sketch. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But definitely pull up pictures of big cats next time from all angles because they're a little weird from front on, but the shapes are definitely easy to break down from the side view. And they're very like super wedgy, and there's weird curves, like a big cat's nose kind of like curves downward, but not quite at an angle that a pony's was. It's almost like a bump curve. So like, let's see. I'll go draw down by this pony over here.
Yeah, I went more kitten on the side.
Itty bitty kitty committee. All right, so I got this circle here. Do my normal rubber bands around this. Oh, gosh. How do you rotate on your, what's the keyboard shortcut for rotating?
I can't remember. That's always your answer. Let's zoom. No, I can't seem to figure out
I do it at the
rotation.
bottom with the
Yeah,
angles
that's
at the bottom because
so
I can't figure
annoying
it
though,
out.
because I swear there used to be, or at least on my end, I might have accidentally, like, it might have been something I actually set in the controls and then have removed since I reinstalled things. Yeah. Camera shortcut. Drag, rotate, view. Alt. Oh, it's just Alt and drag. Oh, if my tablet actually worked. I don't know. There's if you go in like edit preferences, there's a section on
Oh my god, I
canvas
wrote
shortcuts.
lion on Google, and just a bunch of the new Lion King ones showed up. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
I haven't
tigers,
watched
not
that.
lions. Or yeah. Yeah. But they only care about the guy. Anyway. So it's They got weird faces, and it's gonna be a bit different than pony
Oh
with the
god.
bumples and stuff.
The oh god was I looked at a lion and I tried to draw it and I realized I have no idea.
Lions are weird. Like when you take a second to really look at lions, they're pretty weird looking. Eh.
My cat looks
Oh,
dumb.
that
And
works.
they got like little bumpy chins. They're very like rounded little bumpy chins. So this is very like I don't want to. There's so many draws. I don't want to draw over it again. But another key thing I think is the eye separation. I think your eyes are very big for a big cat's face because I know ponies. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I do apologize. Someone please stop me if I'm too much.
Talk
Um,
about lions.
something I noticed in big cats and lions in general is that their muzzle takes up a bit more of their face. Like an actual horse take their muzzle takes up their face way more than their eyes would. But in the MLP
Their face
universe,
is all muzzle.
yeah, it's basically all muzzle. But in the MLP universe, it's all the eyeballs. The face is majority eyeballs because eyeballs looking all big and shiny are super cute. But for big cats, it's it's different where they are a little wider apart. They do have thicker muzzles because you know those jaws. They got big, powerful jaws that they need to have more focus on. They have a keen eyesight, but basically, just make those eyes a little smaller. You can still do those cool little swoopy doopies, but just
Swoopy doopies.
separate those eyes a bit more. You don't have to have them as round as I did. It's just how it came out.
I want to add swoopy doopies.
Swoopy doopies.
There's also something someone else said a minute ago that I want to add, but I forgot what it was now.
These are all official art terms. Don't try to look them up
Okay.
because they're top secret art terms. You will not find anything about them.
Yeah, we keep them secret.
Do the sphinxes have cat ears or lion ears? I mean, I guess if you want cat ears, you can totally do that, but a lion's ear is a bit more rounded.
They're so fluffy.
I like how they curl. They're like little stout bear ears, but not, but like kitty ear. They're just little cute, fluffy, round ears.
Just a couple
Yes.
things to keep in mind. When you're drawing the eyebrows, just keep in mind sort of the width of them, or the how wide they are this way. I just thickened up this one because this one was like tiny on both ends and it looked a little bit unbalanced compared to this one. And with this sort of neck here, what you want to do with this curve down the bottom is you want to define sort of where the middle point is. And then to the left of the middle point and to the right of the middle point will be higher. And right here will sort of be the lowest point. And it'll just make it look a little bit more properly 3D. But yeah, looks good. Excited to see some more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pony.
Pretty colors.
I absolutely love the colors. I was looking at this the other day and I'm like, I just kind of want to comment to say how good the colors are, but I'll just save it like for tomorrow. But I really love the colors.
I'm upside down. I somehow flipped the canvas like vertically and horizontally by accident. Yeah. So see, I wasn't sure if they were just like wearing like shoes, but yeah, it could also be like the hooves. I love the cutie marks. Cool. That's exactly what like a cutie mark should look like.
I feel
Like
like this
something.
person uses
No,
CSV.
it is a bit different. Like any cutie mark involving space is always notorious to do. Like there's one I had to do a character design for. Well, I had to. I was given the opportunity to do a character design for Pony in a Box. They did a Doctor Who special, and it was like about like he was like meeting like a ponification of like the universe. So I had to design a pony that was literally like the majesty of the universe in like pony form. So like I had to make the design like really stupidly like complex. Well, I decided that I should make it stupidly complex, and and it was such a challenge like trying to make the cutie mark like look good enough but not be like ridiculously stupid. So in the end I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give everyone a PNG of the cutie mark because I needed to look. Well, yeah, I did simplify it from like an actual like spacey looking nebula to something more similar to this, where it's like an actual drawn like cloud. Well, I see so many people with cutie marks where it's like some painterly looking thing or something that just doesn't look like a cutie mark. Whereas a cutie mark kind of should look like a clip art graphic, you know. If you look at the ones in the show, it's just sort of meant to stylistically represent who they are, as opposed to being like a picture on the butt. Like it's not going to be as complex as like a tattoo that you see people get in real life. Yeah, I mean, I didn't say exclusively, but there are some pretty advanced looking tattoos.
Ooh, I want some. Pass them over here. uh,
That's good. That's good.
Ooh, sweet potato is great.
Like a complicated main style or something. So I've got some characters that would have definitely benefited from me putting the effort in to draw multiple angles, but even then you kind of just need like one side and the other side, or maybe like a back shot at most. But yeah, I think it's pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say I completely agree with LD. I think it's a pretty good, like, comprehensive ref. Yep.
I still love the colors. Great color choice on Chaos Sky. Blah, blah. I can't word.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Bless the movie. Bless it.
I was gonna say I super love that movie. They need more Karens. It happened before the Karens, I think, didn't it? But still.
True. It brought us everything.
Yes.
Even Sunset Shimmer. Yeah, yeah. No.
Lots of sketchy doodlings.
Were there any other questions for it, or just otherwise? Just that's
I,
it.
d- I do want to say I love like you obviously have like a lot of sort of what to do in terms of just positioning, neatening up anatomy and stuff, which I think what LD said is definitely worth listening to. I do think I really like what you've got already. I love the sort of roundness of your style because MLP actually really doesn't use like straight lines. I noticed this pretty early on, but you know if you look at any like even like right at the beginning, aside from a few sort of like if you look off looking vectors, if you look at any of the ponies in the show, especially like later on in the show, they really don't use straight lines. Everything is curved, even if it's only gently, because it creates a nice soft feel. And so your style is very round. Like you can see lots of circles, lots of roundness going on. Like you have a very good sort of like theme of shapes in this sort of design, I think, and I think that's accentuated by like you got all these like super round hooves, and you got like the little hoof tips around, and then you got like the poofy mane. Like everything's very like circular in this, and I really like that. It has a very nice like stylistic feel to it.
The only thing I'd be careful of is the width of everything. These
Yes.
two guys, like the back legs are real chonky, but the front legs aren't as chonky, especially the one being held up. So just be careful about proportions and sizes of things.
Yes, it'd be more like this if it was taking into account the trunk. Yeah, it's something we see a lot actually. Like a lot of pictures we have on this critique channel. One of the things that we see the most of, I think, is like inconsistency between the legs, particularly like between the front legs and the back legs, or if the front legs are in two drastic poses, we see them at like different sizes. It's surprisingly common how much we get it. So yeah, definitely just taking just being. It's just a case of just being mindful. There's no like weird tricks or anything. You just got to be mindful and just look every now and then at the legs you've drawn all together and just see if they look, and eventually that just becomes natural. Like you just it just becomes second nature. So it's not too daunting of a thing, just something to be mindful of. When is she not?
Oh my goodness. You should make that an enamel pin. That would be a great
I just
pin.
want to say with the
Have
ears,
money for
just like
MNL pins.
with the ears, just do a little bit of testing and see a few different styles of ears and try to get a sort of consistent one. Over here, you've got sort of like one with a bit of a point. This one's like entirely round, and I've just drawn a little one on top there. And yeah, just with this hoof is like coming at us, and it's so it should like be fairly pronounced, but I like didn't really see it any differently from the stuff that was behind it. So with these thicker and thinner lines, just like maybe try putting a thicker line over here to like separate it from the background a little bit more. But yeah, looks good.
Mhm. No.
I have no idea what any of these measures mean. Is 5.6 big? How much? How tall
I'm
am I?
6 foot for reference.
Well, but you're big. You're tall.
You're probably like 5 something.
6.
It's because
Some of us
you're
do here. It's just weird.
What you used? I am 5.3. 4. 3 or 4. I don't. 4. I know how to math. I'm 160.
The mouse.
Squeak.
sounds about right. Yep.
I'm
It's
I'm too
squeaky.
asleep. I'm too asleep to figure out. We're talking about my mouse and not my actual height.
Yeah, don't make Sleepy C do math.
I spent a good second just wondering if 30 centimeters would be a normal height for a person.
You definitely need some rests.
So
Oh
just
my
like
God.
very good art advice. Do not stay up until 4 a.m. to make
Yeah, that's
bushy
the life
patterns.
advice.
Yes.
It's known for its density. Just run with your trick.
So this metal, this metal here, this metal here, I love it. It looks awesome and great and perfect, and you don't need to change a thing about it, I reckon.
Mhm.
This hair, the highlights sort of are everywhere, which looks cool, complicated like hair normally does, but it does mean that it's really difficult to sort of suss out what the form is behind it. You'll see most artists, when they sort of add highlights to hair, they have sort of a section where the highlights are,
Mm,
and like most of the highlights are kind of this like weird
yeah,
hair shape inside there or something like
yeah.
that. It'll be like,
The little innie shapes.
yeah, it's kind of, if you look at it sort of like a bunch of different planes, you've got sort of this
Mhm.
area here that's going sort of down, this area. Oh, what have I done? Yeah, okay. This area here is kind of facing this way, and then this area here where it sort of goes back. And so
Yeah,
when the light hits it, all of this area will sort of be hit in the same kind of way, which
yeah.
is why you'll get like, that sort of
Mhm.
traditional anime like highlight streak.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
blue lines I put are sort of like the contact points at the very sort of like apex of the spherical parts of the hair. So like that's typically where I would have done the highlights, which is similar to where the gaps are that are in your lining, which sort of simulates that effect, I think. I was gonna say I have it's not like critique on what you've done, but a suggestion. Because Pixie was pointing out the sketchy way you've colored the hair. The main body to me looks like you've done sort of like a pencil or charcoal or some kind of. It doesn't look like a pen anyway. So if you guys think I'm not being crazy with that, I was gonna say Sombra, if I'm not mistaken, he's an Umbra pony and his mane is like shadow. From what I understand, it's like it doesn't look like hair from what I remember in the show. So like what you could do is just do the hair shape. You could use a pencil just very gently, and do it in like multiple layers. Don't do it all at once, but just like what I is a technique that I like to do is just to casually like sketch over, just very very lightly, like not using your full like drawing strength, but just doing little tiny little strokes, being very gentle, and just tone the hair in the same sort of way that you've done the body, just with like regular drawing pencils, and then take your finger and just like smooth it and rub it over for ages, and then it will make a much more like smoother tone rather than being like a sketchy looking effect. Um, and it will probably have a really nice effect because its main, I think, is just like a shadow energy. So it would be surreal compared to like the rest of the drawing, but I think it's kind of supposed to be. So it might work. So it's definitely something to maybe try experimenting with in the future. I think you've clearly got some lovely different like mixed mediums going on already. I mean, I think you've done a great job drawing this character. I tried to draw Sombra recently, and I've got to keep going because it's a commission, so I've got to figure out how to do it. But I tried drawing him, and somehow I feel like he came out looking more like Wonder Woman than Sombra. I don't know how, but that's what it reminds me of. So you've done a better job than I have so far. You're so silly, and I love it. What? Come again? Okay, that's the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
That works.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, so I was gonna say I super love this picture. Super great.
He's cute.
It's very adorable, and I immediately noticed it right off the bat. Not only because it's like the center of the canvas, and when we join, that's kind of where the screen is, but also because it's super adorable. I love the colors.
Yeah,
That would be my guess.
that's
Mm.
what that looks like. Mhm.
Because
And
then I see this darkness here.
yeah, and then like drew over the sketch on the monitor. I don't know. I don't know why that would need to be the case.
No,
Because it.
the
That's just a
drawing also
sketch.
has the things, the lines.
Oh, so like the drawings on the. It looked like it was superimposed over whatever background's on. Like if it's already on a computer, you can just send it to us.
Well, some
Unless you're
people don't have
using
internet. Like they have internet on their phone, but not their computer or tablet.
Maybe. And I had trouble getting it on the phone. I can see that.
Yes.
With
Me
mm,
too. The only thing I'd suggest with that is have the back make contact with the neck. It just grounds it a little bit. It makes it feel like it's attached to the pony. And then you can also still do the fun like floaty wavy necklace because floating head in space. But this way it feels like it's connected. It feels like there's weight on the neck and this is just floating off of it being on the neck.
with your muzzle, you have a similar kind of thing with your old picture, but a little bit more pronounced. I'm struggling to sort of see the underlying anatomy of the muzzle. It's kind of doing the show thing of putting like the 2D shape in there and then doing the stuff on top. I'd recommend taking a look at how different artists draw muzzles and kind of just like seeing how you can adapt that to your own drawings. Um, because you've got sort of the whole 3D form underneath here. And once you have a bit more of an understanding of that, it makes it a bit easier to make and draw muzzles that are sort of grounded in proper 3D, and they can look a little bit more correct. Yeah, so just mess around with that a bit.
I just have one more comment. It's just about moving the horn. The horn's a fine shape, probably even a fine angle. Just move it down a bit. It's more out of the forehead than out of the top of the head. But it's just a smidgy change.
Aware of where the ear ends and the eye, and make sure there's just a little bit of space there. But yeah, that looks good. Very, very good glow up, and post some more stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fluttershy.
Heck yeah, Fluttershy.
It's a pretty cute pony. Yes. You made something. What? Oh.
I think that's the Derpy Baru image that they referenced.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh, clever.
Clever. Yeah.
It happens. If I can suggest, if you're wanting to train that sort of hand-eye coordination to get more confident strokes that keep the line dynamic, there's a DeviantArt post. I'll ping you in the Discord. I know you're in our Discord. You probably won't realize why I'm pinging you till you see the video. But it has some great exercises. Now, these are really simple exercises. Like, I'll just go over to this blank space next to your Fluttershy. One of the exercises is literally making a figure eight, but trying your damnedest to go over, and you don't pick up your pen, you just keep going. You got to keep going on the lines you've already drawn. The key is to not let yourself start like, making other shapes going on. You have to keep to like following your own path. There's other examples they have. You can do something where it's like a repeating pattern where you have to try your damnedest to like keep the pattern going, keeping it even, trying not to get too big. And like sometimes my brain just farted there, like which direction I had to go. And like just there's different stuff you can do. Yeah, like that, like what CPC is doing. You kind of like practice that, keeping it all similar, going down the line. And another one, super easy one, you draw a dot, you draw another dot, you see those dots, you like pretend, let me get the, yeah, you just zoop. And something you can do to do it beforehand, is this the laser pointer? Okay. So something I'll do beforehand. Now this is me pressing down on my screen, but what you do is you hover over the two dots. So essentially you'll hover back and forth practicing it. It's called ghosting the stroke. And then you get the feel of where they two connect, and then you go down for your final thing and just go, because your hand, you're building that muscle feel how the stroke will go. And you can do that with curves too. Like you could
I've
have two
tried doing it.
dots, have three dots in fact, like a dot, and a dot, and need to, obviously not with a laser pointer, but
Was that the ghosting method? I think is what I can't remember if it was you, CPC, or both told me to try doing. I think it was CPC. So I might have been at her house at the time. I was staying back because she was doing like some really amazing like Inktober comic thing, and I was watching the magic happen and spillages, but mostly the magic. and I remember you telling me about like just like doing practicing the line with the wrist stroke, but without actually touching it first, and then making the stroke. And I was like, I've tried doing that recently, but I'm so like not confident with it. Because I'm like when I was doing Inktober stuff, which I was like for the first time, but I was like I'm doing it. I'm trying to make it look nice. But like I don't feel like now is the time for me to be practicing lining techniques that I might just immediately screw up and then have ruined my Inktober drawing.
Well, Inktober is exactly the time to try new inking techniques. You
Yeah,
don't
but I
need
should
to
have
make
done
it
it.
good. You're meant to do one a day. It's not gonna be good.
I should have done it as like practice is what I'm saying, rather than as one of the pictures I was going to be publishing. I didn't do one a day because I was really bad, and it was also my first time doing Inktober. I was like, I'm just going to draw whichever prompts I happen to feel like doing, and then just post them all like in November.
The whole Inktober thing started because of the creator of it wanted to motivate
Mhm.
himself to practice inking with an ink pen, with a
Mhm.
brush pen.
Mm.
Zom, if you want, I actually posted the DA link in the voice chat channel if you want to just show the stream. I'll also post it in the stream. I'll be cool and do that too.
I'll be posting that link everywhere.
But it's a really great read on how powerful lines can be as well.
Oh, I've read this tutorial.
It's a great one. Honestly,
Yeah.
anyone who's struggling with their lines, just give it a read over. Even if you're not struggling and just kind of want to get better, give it a read over. Like, so many good advice if your line art is struggling. And it's one of those things that line art will get better the more you practice it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always what I
yeah.
do. I look at the
Yep.
the final point.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Though it's the analogy of like the archer looks at the target and not his arrow, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But same diff.
And I believe they talk about this
and
stuff
then
in
he splits
Brawlabox
the arrow in
too.
twain. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
The,
I
the,
was
the,
just
the, uh,
saying,
the site called Drawbox is
yeah.
really good for this. They have a lot of these kind of exercises and layout, like exactly how to do them and that sort of stuff. With the your traditional stuff, hooray on being sketchy. Being sketchy is awesome and great,
Yes,
and like
definitely.
being a bit inexact kind of just comes with the medium. And it's fine to push it and to be more inexact and to be more sketchy and weak and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I think it's important to remember, even in traditional art, you can go back and correct yourself. It's not permanently lost. There's always a solution unless you're like dipping your page in water and letting your dog eat it. Like if you're doing an inking and a stroke goes terribly wrong, you can makeshift a light box and put a paper over your sketch and draw it on top of it and you've saved it. There's always a way to save it. So try not to worry about it being perfect in the first stroke. Try not let it be messy because sometimes you can get those really nice flows, you can get those really nice curves, and sometimes correcting a mess sometimes can lead to something better.
And if all else fails, you've
Sometimes it's
always
just
got the next drawing.
really
Yeah.
frustrating.
Any other chocolate they'd like to send to Cuban's case? Send me some cheesecake.
Bring Amazon to Portugal, please, so I can buy chocolate.
Yes. Amazon.p, what would the suffix of that be?
Or alternative, just
PG.
end the pandemic so I can travel again.
Yes.
I'll make you a lot of commissions if you finish the pandemic.
I will single-handedly do that. Just give me
Make
a minute.
trading commissions for vaccine now.
There was fish.
Woo! Yeah, Zamzam got a tank. He's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
have some buddies. Well, I know that, but I was tying it into your real life.